preacher is here on time, at the right time, for the preacher's time. Amen? All right, beloved, I've come to give you what God has given me to give to you. I am a young face with an old style, which means that my preaching really does not focus on appeasing the church. Neither does it focus on appeasing individuals, but it's simply the truth. And I lift it up and let the chips fall where they may. And today your pastor told me, and invited me here, that the focus really ought to be on prayer. But what are we praying about? I want you to understand that God's people should be intelligent people. Amen? We don't operate, we don't worship, and we don't live on emotionalism. Everything we do must be in a certain order. There are some people who would have it that, we just sing a song. We're praising God, we just sing a song. And they think some people are too stiff, and so we just praise God. And I'd like to submit to you that instead of being a peculiar people, as what Adventists should be, we have become like everyone else. And my duty as a watchman, my duty as a president truth seeker, is to show you the way as though it ought to be. So today I ask that your phones are off. I ask that your malice is left outside. I ask that your prejudice is distinguished and relinquished and terminated. And I ask that today you think about yourself and only yourself. Even if your wife or husband is beside you. Because today we will search ourselves. And then we will know what we ought to pray for. I have several sermons that the Lord has inspired me to write. So much so that right now I have 6 sermons booked, and it's continuing and continuing. But this message that I bring here today to you is found out of sermon book number 1. So it's rather an old message, but its relevance is for all time. I was here before a long time ago. Some of you were not in the church. Some of you were not even born. Seriously, I was here in 2007. That's 9 years ago. So I'm correct. Some of you were not even born. I was a child then, but when you become a man, you put away childish things. You know, church, growing up, I'm getting to the message. Growing up, I heard so many stories about Adventists. Things such as they believe that they are the only ones going to heaven. They are cults. They worship a dead woman, Ellen G. White. I didn't know her name at that time. And that they knew the Bible from back to front. And you were warned, try not to have a conversation with them. And that the Sabbath was observed by them and that it is done away with. Just to mention a few. When I got the light about the truth, about the Sabbath and the Adventist faith, there was some truth to what was said. What I have come to realize is that what was said is no longer what is. We are now compromising the faith. We no longer stand up for what is Bible, but we stand up for what is popular. We no longer stand out but now we stand with the crowd. We no longer know our Bibles. We now depend on our leaders to tell us what the Bible says. We no longer stand on our pillars of faith. We now stand on what the majority says. We no longer stand out by being outstanding. We stand up seeking favors from the world. We need to find back that first unpopularity status with the world. We need to be called cults again. You know why? Because of the fact that we are different. And the Bible alone is what we go by. I want to be different from the world. I want to stand out. I want to be pointed out. I want to be a troublesome person. You know what? Just because I stand up for the word of God. I want to be called a fanatic. You know why? Because I study and I know the spirit of prophecy. Lord, help us today as we are now too comfortable with the state the church is in. We need to be watchmen on the walls of Zion. We need to stand up for righteousness. May God help us to stand. And above all, to stand. Our message this morning is coming from Revelation. Revelation, the 3rd chapter. Won't you go there with me? Revelation chapter 3. Revelation chapter 3, the text says, starting at verse 14 to 17. Are you there, church? Today is a solemn day. Revelation chapter 3, verse 14 to 17. I'll read in the interest of time. And unto the angel of the church of the who? Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness. Are you there? The beginning of the creation of who? Of God. Verse 15, listen to what God says. I know thy works, that thou art what? Neither cold nor what? Hot. I would, God said, thou art cold or hot. Verse 16, so then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor what? Hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Verse 17, because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods. I have need of nothing. And knowest not that thou art what? Wretched, miserable, poor, blind, and naked. These are not my words. This is the word of the Lord. My message this morning is entitled, Pray for the Remnant. This message is for me, and this message is for you. Bow your heads and let us pray. Loving Jesus, in the silence of this hour, we come before your awesome presence to lift up your name on high, to hear what your word has to say to us, so we can be changed and reflect your image. Here is this feeble lump of clay. Have thine own way in Jesus' name. Amos, a for the remnant. Even Isaiah the prophet had a concern for the remnant of God. He, Isaiah, even named his son Shir Yashu, which means a remnant shall be left. Isaiah said to Hezekiah the king, this is a day of trouble. The children have come to the birth, but there is not strength to bring forth. For this cause, Isaiah the prophet and Hezekiah the king, they prayed. I'm talking about 2 Kings chapter 19. When the Assyrian army came up against Israel, they came up and they surrounded the walls of Israel, and Israel was backed in, and they could not overcome the Assyrian army. And Isaiah came to Hezekiah the king. He said, lay down your arms. We need to repent and pray. And for once the king listened to Isaiah, and he tore his garment with sackcloth and ashes, and he called a national day of prayer and fasting, and the people prayed. And can I tell you what God did? The Lord sent one angel. How many? One. The Lord sent one angel, and that angel, one, cut off all the mighty men of valor and all the hosts of the captains and generals in one night. Sennacherib went to his bed in pride and woke up in shame. You know why? Because the morning light revealed 185,000 corpses. One angel, one night, equal 185,000 dead men. Why? Because the prophet prayed for the remnant. I remember Samson. You remember him? He was set aside by God to do what? Bring back God's people. Samson, he should have been peculiar in his diet. Samson, he should have been righteous in conduct. But his strength, church, his strength was not found in his hair. Samson's strength was not found in his biceps, neither his triceps. But Samson's strength was found in his connection with God. And what Samson did not recognize, church, and I want you to understand this, hope, that power has a twin sister. And her name is purity. Too many Adventists, you're praying for power, but not for purity. Too many Adventists. There was a lady in the valley of Sorek whose name was Delilah, whose magnetism was stronger than Samson's reason. She came to Samson with her deception. She cried, Samson, Samson, you handsome devil, you. Tell me the secret of your strength. And little by little, church, Samson began to violate the conditions of his sacred calling until he found himself sleeping on the lap of Delilah. And then Delilah cried, Samson, Samson, the Philistines be upon you. And Samson said he would rise and whisk and went forth, not knowing that the Spirit of the Lord had left him. It was a day of trouble. Samson had come to the birth, church, but there was no strength to bring forth. Samson's power was restored, but only as he prayed, oh Lord, remember me this once. Now, God's church today, we are on the brink of heavenly Canaan, and just like Samson, just like Israel of old, there is apostasy in God's church today. Too fornication, and sensual indulgence are the special sins of this age. Church people, Adventists, we continue to think that we can impress the world by agreeing with it. The danger of mixing the common and the sacred is that one day the common will take the place of the sacred. I've read somewhere where someone says, if you lie with dogs, you're going to get up with fleas. The world has invaded the church, and you and I have to learn today to choose between the Word of God and the Word. This is a day of trouble. This is a day of trouble. The children have come to the birth, but there is not strength to bring forth. May I educate you, because what we are seeing today, what we have been seeing for the last 50 years is not Adventism. May I educate you? In 1844, judgment began. In 1844, Adventists ate the little book of Revelation chapter 10. It was sweet in the mouth, but it was bitter in the belly. Judgment had begun with the household of faith. Then, like Israel of old, we forgot. We forgot, church, that once we cross over 1844, then any season of inactivity that succeeds a great struggle is often fought with greater danger than is the period of conflict itself. In other words, there was a group of people who didn't know their direction. There was a group of people who experienced a great disappointment, but they did not give in. They did not give up. Though the world ridiculed them, they kept on their knees, and God began to pour out His Spirit on them. God began to open heaven to them, and they saw the sanctuary. They saw the hour of judgment. They understood their disappointment. They understood where they went wrong, and that small group of people became powerful, became established, became conferences. But after that period, we got lackluster. After that period, we got lazy. After that period, we became worldly. We dressed like the world, eat like the world, look like the world, live like the world. We are painted like the world, and so we have lost the power. And now it's gonna take greater energy to get back that power. God spoke to us through John the Revelator, and He said, prophesy again to many people and nation and tongue. Tell them that Babylon is fallen. Tell them that he that drink of the wine of Babylon, that his wrath will be poured out without mixture. God is speaking this morning to this Adventist church, and He is saying that this is a day of trouble. My children have come to the birth, but there is no strength to bring forth. And just like Israel of old, we church, we Adventists, we are forfeiting and denying the very reason we were brought into being. You know the reason, this body of people, do you know the reason we were brought into being? Was to preach the three angels' message. But we have become disobedient. We don't even know where to find the three angels' message anymore. It's Revelation 14. We have become disobedient. We have become disobedient. You know why? We congregate where we can get fat of the gospel privileges, and we become victims of disinterest and ease. We become armchair recipients of periodicals, and all we ever do today is read books. We back the principles of the third angel's message, and we just living off the interest. We think we are on an easy street, and we deceive ourselves, impelling ourselves, as the Bible says in Revelation chapter 3, that we are rich. We've got schools, we've got hospitals, we've got more PhDs than anything, that we are rich, we've got cars, we've got good clothes, we look nice, we are are miserable. You're naked. We have come to the birth church, but there is no strength to bring forth. And somebody this morning, I'm pleading with somebody in Hope Church needs to pray for the remnant church. May I tell you what they don't tell you? The spiritual condition of the Adventist church in Jamaica, all across Jamaica in 2016, June the 25th. It is shocking. Just as Israel was being run over by heathen, the church is being run over by heathen ways. We shrink from sinners but not from sin. We cultivate a love for good preaching rather than a love for souls. We're glad, naked. We claim to love the foreigner in heathen land, but we despise the immigrant in our own. God never asked us to bring the world to Jesus. He told us to take Jesus to the world. How do you do that, preacher? Well, put Jesus in your life and then take him to the world. But, oh church, as we work for Jesus, so many of us fuss over gas in the car. Who's gonna pay for it? We complain. We don't have no spare time for prayer and missionary work. What do you take my God for? God doesn't want your spare time. God wants your precious time. We need to stop trying to impress God with our leftovers. Someone needs to pray for the remnant. And then there are those of us who work diligently for the Lord. But they are not working for the Lord. They are working for themselves. You know why? They will lead, but they will never follow. They are extremely motivated, highly opinionated, working like the devil for the Lord. Someone needs to pray for the remnant this morning. The first two letters in gospel spells G-O. Go rescue the perishing. Go care for the dying. Go snatch them in pity from sin and the grave. Oh, weep, oh, ye hearing water. Oh, lift up the fallen. Oh, tell them of Jesus, the mighty to save. Someone needs to pray for the remnant this morning. If we are not faithful, I'm talking to us, I'm talking to myself. If we are not faithful in proclaiming this third angel's message, like Israel of old, we shall be lost. Like Israel of old, we shall preach and sing and come to church, but we shall be lost. Like Israel of old, we may have churches and conferences, but we shall be lost. Like Samson, we shall seek to rise up and go out as before, and wist not. You know why? Because the Spirit of God has departed from us. This is a day of trouble. The children have come to the birth, but there is not strength to bring forth. There is something you need to pray for. It's a day of trouble. Can I educate you? Did you know that most of the gains that we made as a church in the early 40s and 50s and 60s, did you know we're just barely hanging on to them? Or academies, NCU, gone to nothing. We're just barely hanging on to it. And someone says, well, you know, we are just poor managers. Battle Creek Sanitarium, oldest Adventist hospital in the world. We're just barely hanging on to them. We have come to the birth, but there is not strength to bring forth. And somebody needs to pray for the remnant this morning. Hallelujah. Listen to this. Listen to this. Ellen White says, the very light of the church. What did I just say? Please listen. The very light of the church depends on her faithfulness in fulfilling the Lord's commission. To neglect this work is surely to invite spiritual feebleness and decay. Where there is no active labor for others, love wanes. Friends, God is not counting for words, He's weighing hearts. All you love to do is come and sit in church for program, you're going straight to hell. Your duty, my duty, is to allow Christ to live in us. And as he lives in us, we reflect this life to the world. That's the most powerful sermon. And the world needs to see it. Somebody needs to pray for the remnant. For this once powerful group of people, you are but nothing more than a shaft today in the summer threshing floor. There's no power. There is no power at all. He is looking on to see. God is looking on to see if we will go and preach the gospel to a lost and dying world. Can I tell you the truth? For many of us, God is even ashamed to be called your God. Too many members in churches are sitting down waiting for pastors to visit them when they should be visiting others themselves. Oh, preacher up there, you talking, but that's what we pay him for. How many visits did the pastor make? But how many visits did you make? God did not call ministers to run an adult daycare center, babysitting Christians, spoon feeding you the truth. God gave us all the same marching orders. Go tell the people, man and everybody, that the hour of judgment has come, and they are to worship the God who made the Sabbath, the God of creation. Go tell the people that judgment has come, that Babylon is falling. Whatever happened to the Babylon is falling message. Oh, Christian churches today preaching that smoking is all right. Babylon is falling. Oh, they are preaching and closing their eyes to homosexuality and transgender. Babylon is falling. It's falling. They're preaching that alcohol is good. Babylon is falling. It's falling. Church is romancing the state, and the state romancing the church. Church politics. Babylon is falling. It's falling. If any man worship the beast and his image, he shall drink.
Mercy, Jesus.
Drink the wine of the wrath of God.
Hallelujah.
This was the message we were all called to preach. But this is a day of trouble. The children have come to the birth. This is a day of trouble. The children have come to the birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. And somebody in hope needs to pray. What a remnant this morning. God never called anybody to be a sheepdog. He called us to be shepherd. You see, there's a big difference between a sheepdog and a shepherd. See, the sheepdog runs behind the sheep, barking at them, threatening them back in the line. But God says, my sheep knows my voice, and they will follow me. But can I tell you something? Too many of us preach this message, but we won't live this message. And you know what? Because of that, we are spiritually dead. We're dead. The pen of inspiration says, not 1 in 100. What did I just say? Not 1 in 100 among us is doing anything beyond engaging in worldly enterprises. The church must be a working church if it will be a living church. Idleness and religion do not go hand in hand. The people who like to talk about people's business the most, they're the one who does nothing in church. Oh, church, may I tell you, the cause of our great inefficiency in the cause of the work of God is our great inactivity in the work of God. The work, the servant of the Lord says, is years behind while men have slept. Satan has stolen a march upon us. Says the servant of the Lord, I'm filled with sadness when I think of our condition as a people. The Lord has not closed heaven to us, but we, in our own course and backslidings, have separated ourselves from him. Listen to the sins: pride, covetousness, and love of the world have lived in our hearts without fear of banishment and condemnation. Grievous and presumptuous sins have been cherished amongst us. And yet the general idea is that the church is flourishing, and that there is peace and spiritual prosperity in all our borders. But I'm here to tell you this morning that this is a den of trouble. The children have come to the birth, but there is no strength to bring forth. And somebody needs to pray for the remnant this morning. Let me tell you this, church, if the world can't see Jesus in you, you might as well be dead. Can I ask you a question you need to answer in your own mind? When last have you told somebody that the hour of judgment is in session? When last have you told somebody that if they drink of the wine of Babylon, they will be destroyed? If the world can't see Jesus in you, you might as well be dead. And I will not apologize. Do not call me to apologize. God says that every branch of the work, every single branch of the work is crippled. Did you hear that this morning? If that doesn't do something to you, I don't know what's wrong with you unless you're dead. She goes on to say, because of the lack of fervent piety and devoted humble God-fearing laborers, where are the soldiers of the cross? If the world can't see Jesus in you, you might as well be dead. And I mean physically dead and dead. Some of you might be acquainted with the classic poetic father, the rhyme of the ancient mariner. You got to listen here. You see, in the rhyme of the ancient mariner, please listen, it's a legend about a sea and an old sailor. Now, in the rhyme of the ancient mariner, please listen what happened. In the old legend, the ship runs in a storm, and almost all the ship crew died in a dangerous voyage. But in this legend, the ship runs into trouble. The ship with the dead people runs into trouble in a dangerous storm, and the dead sailors are depicted as rising up to save the ship. Former corpses spreading sail. Man, it's an awful legend. Don't let that happen at home. Dead man picking up offering. Dead man praying prayers. Dead woman leading out. Dead people singing on the choir. Dead ushers ushering in. Hope, hope, judgment is in session. What will you do? Hope, hope, Babylon is falling. What will you do? Hope, hope, the chariots are coming with our Lord and King. What will you do? I'm going to tell you what we're going to do, preacher. We're going to rise up as usual and demonstrate our evangelistic power. Go pitch your tent. You cannot rise up. You cannot rise up as usual. As long as health reform is on the back burner and dress reform is off the stove, you cannot rise up as usual. The servant of the Lord says that your dress and your conversation tells which way you're headed. Young ladies, stop trying to hide around it. Your dress tells if you're spiritual. I don't need much to know. I just look at your dress. I make it clear at all. Long dresses don't mean you're spiritual either. This is a day of trouble. My children have come to the birth, but there is not strength to bring forth. Someone needs to pray for the remnant. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? Short-term pleasure will reap long-term pain. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? Those preparing for the society of angels will give up meat eating. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? Many in the church, you continue to insist on painting your faces, painting your mouth, painting your nails and toenails. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? I don't know but someone here this morning is probably seeing somebody, I don't know, living with somebody, not your husband, not your wife. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? These are things to pray for. Christians are boasting that they got X-rated movies coming into their homes. They're boasting they got X-rated movies coming into their homes. HBO, Hell, Broadcast, and Overview, and on TV. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? Adventists are committing suicide with the knife and the fork. What you eat will dig your grave. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? Some of us are not even allowing the devil to do his work. You know why? Because we are tempting the devil to tempt us. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? Somebody needs to pray for the remnant this morning. And if we do, God says, 2 Chronicles 7 and verse 14, God says, listen to this text, if my people, this text can be applied to any and anybody, if my people, which are called by what? My name, listen to conditions to pray, shall humble themselves. What is the first thing you got to do? Humble themselves and pray. So you got to humble yourself first and then pray. But God didn't stop there. And see my face. Step number 3. And he didn't stop there. Listen to step number 4. And turn. That's repentance from their wicked ways. If you follow these 4 steps, God says then. Only then. The text continued. Will I hear from heaven? God says, I will forgive their sins. And then he says, he will heal the land. But I got to tell you something. This land ain't going to be healed now. He's about to come and burn it with fire and turn it all over. When homosexual laws pass, when sin become normal, when we don't know even what bathroom to make and who to use what, when we see all this madness going around, we see the Britain pulling out, and we know that clay will never mix with iron. Are you there with me? As we see prophecy fulfilling, but the church sleeping, and the laymen are sleeping, and those who should sound the trumpet are sleeping. But while I'm on the wall, I look and I see the dust kicking up, and I know the army is about to come. I know he is about to come as well. As I look in my church and I see no power, and I see a feeble institution, but feeble though it may be, it's the only institution upon which God places his supreme regard. But this does not mean we sit down comfortable. Young ladies, there must be a reform in your dressing. You look like the world. You're painted like the world. You talk like the world. Young man, you ought to be reformed and be a priest, not just a church man, but a godly man. We are tired of church men. We don't want no more church men in hope. We don't want no more. We want godly men. Godly men live for God. Church men lead wives and do everything else. But we want godly men. He is about to come. Who will pray? If my people will only pray. The children of God's church have come to the birth, but there is not strength to bring forth. Isaiah prayed for the remnant. Who will pray for the remnant this morning? I'm about to close. Allow me to read a few statements for you, so we know what we ought to pray for. The loud cry. Listen to this. The loud cry will be given by a people who know what it means to live the Christian life. They have obtained the victory, and them the deepest gratitude and holy sacred joy. Volume 1, page 182. The final call out of Babylon will be given by those who obtain the victory over every besetment, over pride, selfishness, love of the world, and over every wrong word and action. We, church, should therefore be drawing nearer and nearer to the Lord and be earnestly seeking that preparation necessary to enable us to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. Early writings, page 71. Oh, for a religious awakening. The angels of God are going from church to church, doing their duty, and Christ is knocking at the door of your heart entrance. But the means that God has devised to awaken the church to a sense of their spiritual destitution have not been regarded. The voice of the true witness has been heard in reproof, but has not been obeyed. Men have chosen to follow their own way instead of God's way. You know why? Because self was not crucified in them. Testimony, volume 5, page 719 to 720. The message of the church to the Laodicean is a startling denunciation, and it is applicable to the people of God at this present time. Shall I continue? The Laodicean message that I've just given you applies to the people of God who profess to believe the present truth. The greater part are lukewarm professors, having a name but no zeal. Church, I know thy works. I'm reading. I know thy works. Works are not lacking. But is it possible that there is even too much works? I believe many things that we do will be dropped when the count of the true witness is fully needed. But the grave danger lies in being satisfied with our spiritual attainments, feeling the need of nothing when in need of everything. My final reading. The shaking is a familiar term. Don't be distracted. To most of us, but not so many realize that in failing to fully heed the counsel of the true witnesses, we are placing ourselves in the class that will be shaken out and lost forever. I was shown the people of God and saw them mightily shaken, some with strong faith and agonizing cry, were pleading with God. Their countenances were pale and marked with deep anxiety, expressions of their internal struggle. It's a hard road to heaven. You can't make it by sitting down in church. I asked the meaning of the shaking I had seen and was shown that it would be caused by the straight testimony called forth by the counsel of the true witness to the Laodiceans. We are the Laodiceans. This will have an effect upon the heart of the receiver and will lead him or her to exalt the standard of God and pour forth the straight truth. Some will not bear this straight testimony. They will rise up against it. This will cause shaking among God's people. Hear me now. Do you think I come to be applauded by you? Oh no. Did you know that the Lord sent me here today? And it's possible I have come with this message and it's just for one person down there. Because the Lord already knows that most of you looking up here at me ain't going to listen. Don't you know that I know already that you're sitting there attentive, some of you, listening at me and even shaking your head, but you ain't paying no attention and you ain't care what is being preached? Do you know that some of you would have been in church all your life and still hell will be your final destination? Why? Because when the truth came, it wasn't favorable to you. When the truth came, you wanted to do your own
This is not the church God founded. You talk too much with your opinions. I don't think I'm going to hell because I dress sexy and show some of my boobs and show some of my buttocks and show my thighs when I'm ready. I don't think I'm going to hell because of that. What you think is irrelevant. Here's what is the truth. Your dress and conversation reveal where you're going. And if you dress like a stripper, you're going where strippers go. There is no wall or pole vault, and there is no pole for you to dance around in glory. I think by now, hope requires of me an apology. Let me tell you why. Because Adventism, as it used to be, was a church founded on this and this alone. But from in the 1950s, the church was infiltrated. And now we don't work by this. We work by humanism way. What I think, what I feel, my reasonability. Shut up. What does this say? And I realize we have come to a stage where a lot of people don't even accept the spirit of prophecy. Let me tell you something, what I found out in my observation in 13 years in this church, or 12 years rather. Those who don't accept that are not normal spiritual people. That's a fact. So you sit down there and you're just having programs sounding like any other Sunday church and just doing anything. There is no peculiar. What does the Bible says in 1 Peter 2 verse 9? Royal priesthood, holy nation. Go and look up this word, peculiar people. We don't feel look like nobody else. We don't understand the papa now. We don't feel talk or dress like nobody else. Here's the statement, try and understand it. Your last day on earth will be like your first in heaven. Do you understand what that statement means? Your last day on earth will be like your first in heaven. Some of you think when God comes, he's going to wave a wand. You know what's your problem? You watch too many Disney. So you think my God is a fairy tale? He's got a little feather wing and he flips around and waves a magic wand with magic dust? No, sir. My Bible tells me this mortal shall put on immortality. You know what that is talking about? Your flesh. So you see how you get old and white hair and humpback? He's going to change that. But if your character ain't changed already, you're lost. You are here studying about salvation and the cross through the word of God and the spirit of prophecy. So God shows you his way so you can learn, change your mind. Philippians 2 verse 5. What does it say? Let this mind be in you, which was also in who? Christ Jesus. That's why you're here. To get a godly mind and godly character. This is just clothes. He's going to change all of this. But in here and here, that's going to change before. Dress reform, Sabbath reform, health reform. God's people are physically sick. They are spiritually sick. We have never had a group of people so sick. Why? Because we have disobeyed the counsels of God. We have done things our own way. What's wrong with us? There is no other group of people that has the potential to be more powerful than any other army on earth like you. You've got the sanctuary message. No other people have that. When Ezekiel was about to die, he cried out. And God turned back the sun 15 degrees. And the pagans and Gentiles who observed moons and stars and all those foolishness, they saw it. They said, we don't understand this. They said, you know what? We got to go over Israel. Because this is where the fountain of knowledge is. But what have you done with it? You buried it. So now when people sit, all you can tell them, go take 2 Panadol. That's an embarrassment. I am, we are an embarrassment. And then that same person turns to the Rasta man. He says, here's what you do. You got to take a busy, because within the busy lies this and that. You got to boil it, let it steep for 15 minutes. You're an embarrassment. I am. We are embarrassment. And then, poor young man can't even find a godly woman. What a sad day. Dressed like anybody else. Surely you look sexy. Yes, sexy on your way to hell. Poor young ladies can't even find a godly man. Because you're in a suit, but you're just a church man. We are an embarrassment. And then that's dress, and then Sabbath reform. That's how we worship. Your worship on earth should reflect your worship in heaven. But how do we sound? Do you sound any different? You're filled with so much program. It's a big day. Today's Youth Day. Big day. Today's Men's Day. Big day. Today's Women's Day. You got to dress in unison. You got to dress with the purple and so forth. Am I bashing these things? Not so much bashing them. But I'm telling you where our focus is. And I'm telling you where our focus should be. We are. You are and I am an embarrassment to God. But why we do that? Why we play around? Here's what is happening in the world. The country who is called the Lamb like these in Revelation 13, who has the two horns, which was civil freedom and religious freedom, is now merging those two things. The country that you thought was the moral police of the world has passed homosexual law. That black president that you all love so much because of his black skin has done worse than many before him. Here's what is happening. The place you once thought was heaven, the great America, has become hell. Here's what is happening. If you think you've seen anything, you have not seen nothing yet. One more thing is left, and that's the Sunday law. There are twin institutions in Eden. Marriage, the Sabbath. Marriage, family life, Sabbath worship. America has destroyed marriage, family life, totally. I seen something on Facebook. A doctor collects a baby from the womb. The baby is born. The mother says, what is it? The doctor says, we'll have to wait for it to decide. Isn't that a reflection of the time? Because of course what God has made, your sexual genital, doesn't decide what you are, but you decide who you are, and an embarrassment. Can I tell you something about science? You can change down there, change here, but your thing will still be XX. That's a woman. It will still be XY, man. Now we are confused about who uses what bathroom. Embarrassment. Now you want to talk about homosexual Adventists? Sick! Well, what are you doing, Israel? What are you doing? The Assyrian army is at the wall! Let me tell you what you're going to do. Today is just going to be another good day. Some of you are going to say we had a preacher that could have done it a little more decent. Some of you are going to say it was a good message, and that's all it was, another message. And some of you are going to say the church was good today, and then next week you forgot about today. That's why most of you go make it to hell. Because you don't sit down, you don't focus, you don't listen to the issue, you don't see where we are, you don't take the message at your heart and decide I need to change because I could die tomorrow. What's wrong with you? All I know, I've done my job. All I know, my shoulders is here. Let me make something clear to you. Every appointment I get is not because a pastor called me. It's because God inspired him to call me. And so I don't worry about where I go and where I go next. I'm just a John. Can you handle that? But this is hope. When people come here, do they really find? Or does hope inspire hopelessness? Who will pray for the remnant? As I close, there was a ruler called Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great ruled the ancient world. One day, a soldier was court-martialed for a number of crimes he had done. And Alexander stood at the judgment bar, and the soldier was court-martialed, and he came right before him. And Alexander said, "Soldier, you have been found guilty for a number of crimes you have done." And Alexander said to the soldier, "Soldier, you will be sentenced to 10 years in prison." As the soldier was turning around and he was being court-martialed to his cell, Alexander the Great said, "Soldier, stop!" Alexander the Great said, "Soldier, tell me, what is your name?" And the soldier said, "Alexander." Alexander said, "Soldier, do not play. I will take your head off. Tell me, what is your name?" And the soldier said, "Sir, my name is Alexander." Alexander the Great said, "I make a decree today. Before you leave my courts, you're going to change your name or change your life. What is my name this morning? I'm Seventh-day Adventist, but I drink coffee. Well, before you leave this court this morning, you're going to change your name or change your life. What's my name? Seventh-day Adventist, Jesus, but I sit at the front because I don't talk to the sister at the back. Well, before you get out of this church, you better change your name or change your life. What's your name? Seventh-day Adventist Christian, Jesus. But you see that preacher up there? Made me very uncomfortable today. I don't like that preacher up there. Well, before you leave this court, you have to change your name or change your life. What's my name? Seventh-day Adventist Christian, Jesus. But I don't too like this dress reform thing. It covers too much of my legs, and I gotta show a little, to get a little. Well, change your life or change your name. What's your name? Seventh-day Adventist Christian, but I'm young and hot, and I love the word. I know the church says that, but gotta enjoy myself, a little party, a little club. Well, before you leave this door, take off the name or change your life. What's your name? Seventh-day Adventist Christian, but sometimes my wife gets on my nerve and I give her 2 punch. Well, you have to change your life or change your name. What's your name? Seventh-day Adventist Christian. I'm married to him, but you know, I'm so sly. I cheat on him now and then. He doesn't even know. Change your life. Change your name. What's your name? Seventh-day Adventist. I preach, but I don't live what I preach. Oh, really? When you're going to change your life or change your name? Why, preacher? Why do I need to do that? Let me tell you why. Because if you keep that name that God gave to his people and live contrary, your judgment's going to be tenfold. You struggle. I struggle. That's not an excuse for sin. Lean on your knee. Cry out to God and check up and let God change your life. But our life's got to change. Change your life or change your name. And you better decide to do that before you step out of my hall. Change your life. Change your name. What's your name? Seventh-day Adventist Christian, Jesus. Now here's my call. Here's my call. If you're going to change your name and keep the life, stay in your seat. If you're going to change your name but keep your dirty life, stay in your seat. But if you want to change your life, keep that precious name. This call is for you. Whether you are in the church or you're out the church, today we're going to pray. And now we know what we're praying for. We know what we need to cry out for. Do not waste space up here. Here's the call. If you're going to keep your life and change the name, stay in your seat. And don't get up because people watching you. God don't read your heart. But if you want to change that messed up life and you want to keep that precious name, seventh day, finish Jesus. And as I do this little chorus, if that's you, then you ought to come and stand at the altar. You will come and stand at the altar if you want to change your life and keep your name. Don't be upset. You ain't got an issue with me. You know you have to love me, don't you? You have to. You don't, but if you don't, you won't make it to glory. The chorus is very simple. Shower me with your love, oh Lord. Shower me with your love. Shower me with your love, oh Lord. Shower me with your holy love. That's the song. You see, you can try it. Let's go. Shower me with your love, oh Lord. Shower me with your love, with your love. Shower me with your love. Shower me with your love, oh Lord. Shower me with your holy love. Do you think we can hum that now? Let's go. Precious, sweet Savior, before I can place anybody before you, I kneel in humility before you, my God, lest thy preacher, thy soul be a cast on. Loving Jesus, thou knowest my insides and my outsides. Thou knowest my heart and my mind. In iniquity was I shapen, O God, born in sin, O Father, but because of the cross of Calvary, today I can move from human to the divine. Today, though I live in the flesh, I can walk in the Spirit. Lord Jesus, I know it's mine infirmities, but Lord, I do not accept it. I know my infirmities, but Lord, I will not reside there, pressing ever forward, going on the rough side of the mountain, falling, Lord, but I won't stay down, Jesus. Through your blood, I must be victorious. As Jacob was, Lord, I'm not ready to go. Bless me, take away my reproach and my name and change my name, Father. Not Israel by profession, but by character, for I've overcome with man and God. Oh, not let him go.
is your people. I didn't come to this place today for a fanfare. This is the antitypical day of atonement. And we are living in the 10 days before Yom Kippur, when we must afflict our souls. For anyone found on the day of atonement with sin will be cut off.
One thing I know about every single individual in here this morning, Jesus, no one wants to be lost. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. Straight is the way that leads to heaven. This straight, S-T-R-A-I-T, means rough, it means hard, it means rugged. Help us to understand, Lord, our greatest enemy will never fight is self. Self must be crucified. When self is crucified, Jesus, then we will have the desires of God. Then we will want to do the things of God. Then we will dress how you want us to dress. Then we will eat how you want us to eat. Then we will worship how you want us to worship. Lord, save us. We can't save ourselves. They have come to the altar because they want to keep their name but change their lives. And this can only be done through the marvelous working of the power of Jesus Christ. Lord, Father, not tomorrow. We don't know of tomorrow. We know of today is the day of salvation. Heal us spiritually before you heal us physically. Let not one of your children here today standing be lost. You're the great shepherd, Lord. Come in search of us if we have strayed. I leave them all in your hands. Every single leader in this church, the pastor and his family. I leave them in your hands and in your wonderful care as I leave myself. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Lord. I've done what you brought me here to do. And now I depart in peace. Bless your church and your people now. May we keep that name as you change this wretched life. In Jesus' name we pray.